Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Pulled an LD there. Forgot to.
And a gods.
And a gods and everybody else under the sun. Oh boy, we've got one game left. Got to re-hype after that epic Cloud9 versus Alliance. We've got one North American game. This is actually a day 2 match that was rescheduled from yesterday. Dignotoss versus Liquid.
Team Zerg.
Team Zerg.
I don't like that name. Dignotoss is just.
It's too silly. It sounds too much like Dignitas, but it's not. I don't really get
That's
it.
what they're going for, but it's unprofessional. To be fair.
All right, esports rep.
I am.
Jeez, are you actually esports rep, Merlini? Is this
No.
you're coming out of the closet here? No.
No.
I want to know who that guy is.
Why would I go be anonymous? I can just express my opinions here.
I don't know. For the fun of it.
Point of a name is to distinguish, and they're not distinguishing themselves very well from.
True.
Technically, there is no real Team Dignitas. But
Yeah, they could just switch it up to Team Zerg, I suppose. But
or Chicken MC back to the streets.
Chicken MC, dude. Nobody's going back to the streets like Chicken. He's actually not back to the streets today. He's just Chicken MC. He's not tagged up with the streets.
Dang.
Unfortunate. That hashtag's dying. So there are some things to talk about, though. Team Liquid, obviously going through a rough patch. Right
Internal
now.
issues.
I think most of us by now have seen that blog.
Fluff has rage blogged. He was angry.
He was upset.
He
I read
vented.
the blog last night. I have mixed feelings about it. I sort of see where he's coming from at the same time. That's one of those, like, someone needed to tell him, you know what, write it down, get your diary thoughts out, then go to sleep, wake up the next day, read it, and then decide if you want to post it. That's not the kind of thing you want to just write and then press
Why
enter.
do you need to tell people, though? Just keep it internal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Write it down, put it in a Word document, save it, wake up the next day, and if you still think it's a really good idea for whatever reason, that's just a good mental way, like, you know, sleep it out, reset it. Like, some of the stuff in there.
You just talk it out with your friends and be like, hey, I mean, the thing is,
yeah,
it's putting down other people. Like, it's saying like, oh, TC's not a good captain. Oh, they don't believe in me and stuff like that.
He names names, man.
It's unprofessional too. To be fair.
Well, it's the definition of unprofessional.
Yeah.
That. I mean, there were things in there that, like, it's like half of it I kind of, like, I'm like, okay, I see where you're coming from. You don't know what to do. You feel like no one's listening to you. But part of the issue was when he said, like, I was hoping that we would fail at MLG Columbus. It's like, dude, you can't say stuff like that. You are a professional player. You're like walking that line of like bad sportsmanship / like intentional throw. Like, if this was real sports and somebody posted shit like that, you'd be in some trouble. You know, I think he might have pushed it a little too far. There are some things that are just better kept to yourself.
Yeah, I value professionalism a lot.
Or at least not posted on a public blog. So I will say I like that Team Liquid didn't take it down. As an organization, I like the way Team Liquid handled it as like a management.
If it's his decision to let it out, then it shouldn't be Team Liquid that censors him.
Right. And it's not Team Liquid style. That's not how they roll. But I still like that was... It's just a good way to handle it. I don't know. I respect Team Liquid.
Good job, team.
Yeah, good job, team. But so let's hop into this draft because there's something that we can look at here. We've got a draft. The draft overlays don't work, but Fluff is back to drafting, and that was part of his big complaint was that he was the drafter, and then he needed a break. He handed it over to TC.
But why couldn't he just be like, "Hey guys, let me draft for 2 weeks. If it doesn't work out, we'll go back to it. But what's worse than what's going on right now?" Why couldn't he just be like that? And then if they win, obviously they're gonna be like, "Well, you can keep on drafting. We're showing results."
I don't know. I recorded a podcast about it last night that I didn't post yet. That's what it sounds like. He's just someone that lacks communication skills. Not to throw Fluff under the bus, but that's what it sounds like.
He communicated to the public pretty vividly.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's easy. You're not talking to somebody. You're basically writing a diary entry and then just posting it for people to read. That's a lot easier than going up to TC and being like, "I think you're a shit drafter. Let me do it again."
So instead of saying it through him, he said it indirectly, which would I don't know.
I'm just saying that's an easier communication avenue. That's not really.
I would say it's a lot harder. Like, I don't want to...
Well, it's shittier, but it's like easier from a, like, it's easy just to sit there by yourself, write that whole thing, and then just click post.
But in the grand scheme of things, there's going to be bad blood brewed in between those two.
I'm not saying that's a good way to do it. I'm just saying in terms of, like, forms of communication, that's much easier than actually calling a team meeting.
It's easier in that instant, but overall for the stretch...
It makes things more difficult.
Way more difficult for the team, because now when TC's drafting, it's going to be like, does Fluff think I'm a piece of shit drafter or what?
Well, obviously, yeah. It wasn't,
no, like, in the future. Like, let's say they switch back, like... He doesn't know what's going on.
Right. Well, that's for sure. And I mean, it wasn't a logical thing. Obviously, it was a very emotional type thing. Logic was not there.
It's logical and emotional. He's angry. He's frustrated.
Yeah.
He thinks it's going to work because he thinks people will listen to him, and he thinks the public will pressure TC.
Right.
Or it being public knowledge will pressure TC. I think it's logical. It's definitely more emotional and logical, but it wasn't completely irrational.
It wasn't completely right. He says in the opening, saying, "I'm in a bad state right now, and I'm just going to post this without proofreading it." That was like the opening to the blog. I don't know. I think maybe a little more emotional. Than
Oh,
you
it's
give me
definitely
credit
more
for. Yeah,
emotional.
very emotional. But
I don't imagine Fluff is that emotional type of guy.
I don't know. I mean, he's very introverted. He's a quiet type, but I don't know. I mean,
Those are the bombs, though.
yeah, he's exactly the bottle. All of a sudden, that bottle will burst at the seams, and that's when you have the explosion. But I don't know. He definitely, one takeaway that I had from that blog though is he's definitely someone that is very smart, very self-critical, and has obviously spent a lot of time reflecting. Like he's a thinker. You know, he's thought a lot about like his personality, how he interacts with people, his sort of shortcomings. There was a lot of kind of genuine like criticism all around of himself and his teammates, but unfortunately that kind of comes off as maybe a little bit douchey.
Well, let's see if Team Liquid can turn things around. They are in a slump. They have been in a slump for a very long time. I would say, like, I don't even know. How many months have they been in a slump? Like 5 months?
It's been,
4
yeah,
months?
I mean, it's
Can you
easier
even call it a slump?
yeah, it's easier to count the months that they haven't been in a slump. It's been a
They
while.
were on fire a while ago. Now they're back to their
When
normal.
were they last on fire? That's like the easiest way to answer that
I
question.
think a month before MLG Columbus. So that was
Okay.
October. So September, October, they were doing well.
They were doing okay, yeah.
Yeah. But I remember MLG Columbus, I thought they were going to do decently, and they just kept failing over and over. And like they were doing decently on online events before.
Where did
that.
they place at MLG Columbus? Obviously, they weren't top 4, but
Pretty low. I mean,
were there relegation matches after the
E-Hug
top
was
4?
E-Hug was 8.
They were the ones
Or
that had
E-Hug
the
was
worst,
last.
the worst record.
Yeah.
Liquid might
they
have
were
been
down
7th,
there.
6th or 7th, something like that. It wasn't good. But let's take a look at this draft a little bit. So Fluff is drafting again.
Wait, there were 10. Weren't there 10 teams there? I don't remember. They were.
I don't remember.
They were close to the bottom of the barrel, though.
It was 8, yeah. Barrel of Laughs, bottom of it.
Team Liquid's turn
So,
to
Ancient
bat.
Apparition, they do go with the Lycan, another hero that has been making a resurgence into the competitive scene, and he's sort of hit or miss. He's a very snowbally hero. He needs some space to get going. Once he gets the momentum, he knocks towers down very easily, but he
10
can be rather
seconds
easy to
remaining.
shut down. We've seen a lot of Lycan picks be very disastrous.
5
I wouldn't say
seconds
he's that
remaining.
easy to shut down. I would say he's actually
Team
difficult
back.
to shut down.
Really? You think so?
Yeah,
I think
he's difficult to
denying
shut down.
Roche from Lycan is really big, and if you can
It's
deny
really
that,
that's really hard
Yeah.
to do, though.
to deny him Roche,
Yes, I think that's extremely difficult.
why?
Why? Firstly, he doesn't take that much damage from doing Roche. He has his wolf to scout.
10
Secondly, he can
seconds
snook in
remaining.
and solo it.
Yeah.
And thirdly, he's just not that. He's good at applying
5
pressure around the map,
seconds
so he can take down T1 so that he can do Roche.
Mm-hmm.
And then if he falls behind in lane, he can always move to the jungle.
Well, I was gonna say
Time.
grabbing. Well, if your opposition has a Lycan like this, you need some scouting tools. You need an AA. You need a Clockwork, someone that can constantly scout the pit when you're in that danger zone. Of,
Yes.
okay, we don't have eyes on Lycan. He could be in Roche
Venom's
right now.
decent for it.
Veno's okay at it. Clockwork is still in the pool, and Dignotoss have passed him up. They did grab Darkseer, so he's probably going to be the off laner. So in this scenario, I think it will be a little bit more difficult.
Well, especially
but
since Liquid is Radiant.
yes.
But I think in general, it's probably the second hardest hero to stop. First would be Ursa. Because
Okay.
Ursa can do it a lot faster.
Okay, I see what you mean. I guess that's a fair point. I guess I'm saying like if you know that like you don't have eyes on Lycan, you just need to constantly
Team
check the Roche
Liquid.
pits.
Yeah, but
And
that just constantly messes with the other team's head.
yeah.
You're like, well, he's off the map. He's probably jungling, but he could be roaching. There's that 10% chance he
Yeah.
could be roaching.
I just
and
really
then-
like Clockwork against Lycan. Just spam the Rocket Flare, man. All right, you'll lose a little bit of mana, but I mean, is that really that hard for a Clockwork to wrap around his
Dire
head?
team
Just
pick.
keep spamming the Rocket in the pit.
Well, Clockwork has actually not yet been picked up. Dignotoss will actually
Yeah.
offer Darkseer in the offlane instead. Team Liquid, heavy favorites going into this match. Looking at the odds, I don't believe there are any. Actually, 78-22 in favor of Liquid. That's about right, I'd say.
Wait, what was it again?
78-22 in favor of Team Liquido.
I think that might be a little bit generous. I mean, Dignitas are the clear underdogs, but it's hard to gauge. Team Liquid are so volatile right now, and Dignitas. I mean,
But it's fluff drafting.
it's well. This is the first time we've seen him draft in a while, so we don't know if it's going to be good or bad.
He's
Maybe
drafted before for them. It was pretty solid.
Yeah, but he's obviously not in a good state right now, man.
Maybe he is now that he's back in the
Yeah,
captain's
maybe.
chair.
It's hard. I'm just saying this is this is not a match that I would want to bet on because Liquid are just a total loose cannon right now.
See, I would beg to differ. I say they have something to prove right now. Fluff, after he says that, and then if he captains, and then he loses to a tier 2.5, 3 team,
It's
then
true.
it's his not his career goes to crap, but like he's discredited for
Right.
a lot of his stuff. So
That's true. There is a lot on the line right now. This is
Yeah.
the time when he has something to prove.
right. So I would beg
Okay.
to differ. I would be like, man, Liquid's in super tryhard mode right now. Granted, they do have a stand-in, but it is really late for
5 seconds
EU.
remaining.
So Quakeva typically has stood out in these North American matches.
Okay. All right. I see where you're coming from. All right. I can get behind that. I still think it's a little bit of I would be nervous about it just
I'm not
because like,
nervous. I would bet
don't
on
know the
Liquid.
State, but all right.
78-22. I bet on Liquid.
All right, well, you heard it from Merlini here, folks. And the Liquid, oh, I don't have them on my stat sheet. This
Wow,
is the EU.
TA will do pretty well in lane, but I think she might just get manhandled later. She cannot tango with a Lycan.
Yeah.
Like, the traps are useless. He has wolves to take down the refract, and I don't know. I don't like the TA picker. I think there are other lane dominators in mid, like actually Queen of Pain will get shut down pretty hard too. I don't know. Storm gets shut down by Nyx. Nyx was a really good pick by Liquid because a lot of the good solo mids get crushed, and it looks like TA is the only non-int one that I can actually do decently for Shadow Fiend.
TA should do fine here, I think. Looking at this
He should do
draft,
fine in lane. I'm worried about him post lane though.
Yeah, I don't know. Which roster do you favor here? I mean, do you think Liquid have a better draft overall?
I think that Liquid has
For battle.
an decent draft. I think that Dignotoss has a better draft. The
Yes.
vacuum into Disruptor is really strong. And on top of that, they have Eclipse to combine with it. So that's really, really strong. At the same time, Liquid has a much better split push and ganky sort of lineup with the Nyx and the Lycanthrope, and they have better late game too. I would say that Lycanthrope and Shadow Fiend definitely outclass a TA and a Luna in that aspect. And they have a relatively good team fight too, as long as AA can hit his ultimate. So I think AA will be extremely important in the 10 to 15 minute team fights. I think that Dignotoss will probably be have the upper hand at least in the first 10 minutes of the game though.
Yeah. I have no idea who this Liquid stand-in is. All of his account
Universe.
names are... It is Universe?
No, it's Universe Fan.
Yeah,
I
Universe
played
Fan.
against him a few times.
Oh,
in the past.
okay. Oh, Fluff is in big trouble. He'll get glimpsed back.
It's
and
Infinity?
Oh, it's Infinity. Thank you, Demon. Look at you coming
Is it
in handy.
Infinity? I guess so.
I don't know. He's
Maybe that's why Infinity only played 10 games in the past month.
Oh, because he's been smurfing. Yeah, if you look at his account, all of his names are Universe Fan 1, Universe Fan 2, Universe Fan 3, all the way up to like Universe Fan 11. Those are all of his names. So, I don't know. We'll take Demon's word for it. We'll assume it's Infinity.
Well, Dignotoss already starting off very, very well. They absorbed this bottom lane, and this team was just not there. But Dignotoss, again, they have the stronger level 1, the minutes 1 through 10 lineup, especially with the Venomancer in their grasp.
Oh no, Fluff's gonna walk right into him again. He's already gotten first blooded. Now he's gonna take a gale to the face. Will they have the damage to finish him off? No, everyone else is retreated.
There's
but
no glimpse.
Ooh, wow, that was Glimpse has a very.
I don't know. They can kill
cooldown.
Derp here actually. If they skill Frostbite and then the Howl damage and the Chilling Touch, looks like they will not go for it though.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're just going for the mass right click. Already skilled up Howl and Chilling Touch. So if anyone actually gets caught in a Frostbite, they could potentially die if they're out of position. But it's actually a weird aggro try. It will be a Luna safe lane solo and a Darkseer as part of aggro try. I like Darkseer try sometimes.
Yeah, it's all about trying to shut down that Lycan, and because he is, the definition of a melee hero, that Ion Shell will come in handy to try and zone out TC a little bit. He is the definition of a melee hero, man. He's got claws. Yeah, that was a silly thing to say. That was just one of those, like, I opened my mouth, some bullshit came out, and I just tried to go with it. All right, my bad.
It was really funny.
Last game of the day, you try to get a little creative, and sometimes it's a swing and a miss.
In the mid lane, Bulba actually up on CS versus Smurfin ain't easy. But Smurfin ain't easy. He got absolutely rickrolled as the Shadow Fiend. No, sorry, the Storm Spirit the other day. So it looks like he may not be the strongest solo mid player, but he's 9 souls already for Bulba. This is bad.
Wait, 9 souls? He's got 5.
Oh, he had he had a race first. That's why.
Yeah.
He has 11 last hits and denies.
Yeah,
so.
I was going to say, he does not have that many souls. He's still that demon stat. Meanwhile, down bottom, though, Narok taking a lot of damage. The right click from this Tri lane is just ridiculous. The Howl mixed with the Chilling Touch. They might be able to make it, too, as Chicken MC, he is tagged up back to the streets now.
Nice blocks by Derp.
And he'll make it back to the tower. Very nice indeed. But this is a duo. We haven't seen a lot of that Howl Chilling Touch. Really scary in these early levels.
Especially against a melee hero who's going to be more susceptible to that burst.
Yeah, now it's also important to note, I didn't mention, but TA was the one that grabbed the actual last hit on the first blood.
Wow.
So Smurfin ain't easy. Should have a pretty easy time in the mid lane.
But he doesn't.
To get things going. But he's actually not 9-0 versus the 12-6 Shadow Fiend. That is good news for Team Liquid.
Yeah,
Ooh.
level 1 Shadow Rays doing
Double
work.
Damage rune. It was denied, but now Fluff's in big trouble. I'm not sure that this was worth it. He will salve when he gets to the high ground, but Smurfin ain't easy. Will continue to pursue. Shadow Fiend coming over. Some raises coming out, but that refraction doing some work. Fluff trying to fog around the trees.
Them tree jukes.
Will he be able to do it? Smurfin ain't easy. Might find the better of him here. Refraction comes back up.
Oh, the splash!
The side blades.
Okay, Fluff is dead. I don't know why he didn't run in the tower, but now he's dead.
Yeah, not the best path to take. That will be another kill.
I don't understand why he just didn't run this way. Bobo was clearly trying to block him from chasing him.
Yeah, TA wouldn't have dove that tower, but
Yeah.
moving in lane, there's just no reason for TA to back up there. That was like a risk-free kill once he left the tower range.
Them early booties at work.
Yeah.
Well, Darkseer's still level 2, though. I think they should probably just give him level 3 on his own, since Derp and Chicken MC Back to the Streets are actually leeching his experience 2.5, and Darkseer's just not the best hero under level. Looks like he's going to die here.
Yeah, he will surge back. One more auto attack would have been enough, but they just don't have the damage. Derp comes in, actually connects with a Gale onto TC. Derp level 2 does have the poison sting, and it will be enough for a kill, though he does get denied by the Ancient Apparition. Well played by Fluff to minimize their losses.
Nice play by Fluffster there. What about this offlane, or rather Radiant or Dire safe lane that we haven't talked too much about? Luna with the early Bessie build, a little bit low on regen, but actually doing poorly on CS, 11-6 compared to 14-2 from Nick. So Universe fan doing work.
He sure is. And this solo safe lane Luna, I like the idea, but it just doesn't seem to be working too well. Luna's kind of lackluster in the farm. I guess it could be worse. At least she's getting level, so Eclipse will be online early.
Could be worse.
I mean, it could be worse. She could be getting. She could have died.
It's a Nyx.
It's a Nyx.
Nyx against a non-int is usually very weak.
Yeah, but well, he's doing well.
Yep, Derp trying to control this bottom rune. Smurfing easy has a haste rune. That is bad news bears for Team Liquid.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm giggling about that melee comment. That delay is caught up. And, Twitch chat's going ham on me. I deserved it for
it's
that
a funny quote, though. I liked it.
It might be BTS moment worthy. Oh, man. So things are quieting down quite a bit here, though. 4.5 minutes in. It's only 3-1 Dignotoss. Well, they've got the hero kill lead, but all in all, farming reasonably even, close to that zeroed out mark. Everybody just farming away. Shadow Fiend and TA about dead even on the net worth chart. And Luna about dead even with the Nyx.
Nyx actually has a slight lead because of the Crystal Maiden aura. I actually didn't consider that in this matchup.
Yeah, does let him spam a bit more. But now that Luna's level 6, he'll have to be a little bit careful. Ooh, down bottom, Chicken MC could be in some trouble. He will get the kinetic field off. Is it enough, though? He gets the surge, that one last auto attack.
Chilling touch, too strong, man.
They hit so hard.
Yeah, even a relatively weak hero like Crystal Maiden, with both of those, she does so much damage. 47 plus 20 plus 50, so 117 damage for a Crystal Maiden 5 minutes in.
It's insane.
You can't scoff at that.
Certainly not. Venomancer, level 3, stationed about the mid lane, but he will get bumped into by way 2.
Not good positioning.
Yeah, Boba will obviously have the intel. He'll move back into the trees, and Derp will be repelled.
They're scared of his haste.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Luna getting a little bit fancy on top. Oh boy, he doesn't have enough mana for. Ooh, that was close.
That was really close. If Universe,
I don't know. Luna has a ton of armor though. 8 armor, blocks so much of the Vendetta deeps.
Yeah.
Derp.
Yeah,
You are in no man's land, buddy.
And there's the Frostbite. A few more right clicks. They'll finish off the Venomancer. Crystal Maiden walks away with another kill, so that will tie it up 3 apiece here at the 6-minute mark. Liquid regaining some of that momentum they lost early on, and TC, he's doing okay on this Lycan. He's middle of the pack on net worth, but he's still having an okay start here. We'll have that Vlad's up before too long. Ring of Regen and Basilius already in the inventory with about 500 in savings.
Boba still doing very well. CS leader, 34 and 16. He is
Hasted
pulling
TA.
way far ahead of the TA.
Down in the bottom lane, they're going to dive this. Smurfing ain't easy. He's just going to walk into their team. He takes some tower shots and gets obliterated. I'm not sure what plan was there. Maybe a little bit of that haste rune and vulnerability syndrome, but god damn it. Still, like, did you see that? He just ran in there.
He got creep blocked.
And died. Well,
yeah.
Still, I mean, what was the plan, though?
There was no good plan. I don't know. I think Smurfin is not doing too well. He got first blood. You should be able to dominate as a TA when you have first blood, especially when you're paired against a Shadow Fiend, and especially when the supports aren't free to roam because they're against an aggro try.
Yeah.
But given that space, he doesn't even have treads yet. 7 minutes in, he already has bottle pretty much right off the bat because of the first blood.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, the last hits are just awful now. 27 compared to the 51 of Shadow Fiend. Bulba is picking up a lot of momentum here. He's got power trance, magic wand complete, and he does have a bottle on the courier that he's been crowing pretty effectively. Now just moving around the jungle, stacking and killing, doing what every good Shadow Fiend should.
Luna still pretty poor. Derp does not yet have boots. And what about Disruptor? Disruptor, I don't see boots in his inventory either. So they did aggro try, but they lost a lot for their supports. They're not that badly underleveled, but I mean, Shadow Fiend is just going to feed off these supports. Like, supports without any boots are just his dream.
And Nyx Assassin gets picked off in the top lane. Pardon me, that one was my bad.
Nice sentry.
But yeah, they will catch him out.
Good job, Derp Derp.
Good job, Derp Derp. Well done. Such a clowny name that guy has. There's a double damage rune here, spawning at the 8-minute mark in the top position. Looks like TA will be able to grab it. She did just pop her regeneration. And this is one of these games where they've been giving TA rune control, but it just doesn't matter. And oh my Lanta. Kill coming out on Chicken MC. Oh yeah, Lycan's hit level 6, so there you go.
Back to the streets.
Back to the streets, man. But yeah, this is one of these games where they've been giving runes to TA, but it just doesn't matter. While Smurfing Ain't Easy is walking around collecting runes, Shadow Fiend's just farming up the jungle. And Bulba will be pretty happy to trade that. I mean, he's bottle crowing pretty much to his heart's content. And it's working out well.
TC already has Vlads too. He's almost level 7. And this tower's under a lot of pressure. No supports down there. Chicken MC already died. I think this is just going to be a free T1.
Maybe. Chicken MC? He might be able to delay this push a little bit. He knows that Lycan's ult is down for about another minute or so. And he can afford to play this a little bit more aggressive. Probably can put down a kinetic field to try and buy some time.
The supports are stretched thin on Dignotoss, so they have to try and protect the Luna on top to fend off the Nyx. They want to try and kill Shadow Fiend if they can with the help of the TA, but they also don't want to let Lycan push their bottom tower. So they can't be everywhere at once. And I think that Liquid's taking advantage of that, just doing whatever they can in each of the other lanes, whether it's Shadow Fiend playing super greedily, whether it's Lycan whacking up those T1s, or even Nyx Assassin just playing very aggressively on the Luna. She doesn't have any regen, so
yeah.
Sometimes you'll see the early Helm of Iron Will just so they get regen, so they don't get forced out of lane by Nyx, but we'll see.
What do you think about this Darkseer pick? I mean, in the laning phase, it was kind of interesting.
I think
it paid off, or do you think it was a mistake?
It's too hard to tell because we haven't seen the Disruptor combo with the Vacuum yet. I think in the early laning phase, it hasn't paid off, but I think it may pay off later if they can execute well in that regard.
I just worry that they didn't do enough to shut down Lycan. He's a little bit like Ember Spirit in the sense he's weakest in that early laning phase where he doesn't really do a lot of damage before he has the ultimate, doesn't really have a great escape vehicle, and they just didn't punish him. If anything, it was the opposite. Lycan did well in the lane. He certainly outfarmed the Darkseer, and he was able to pick up a couple of kills. He is 1-1 and 3. So you mentioned that Vlad's up already. He'll be able to move into Roche pretty easily here. Once he gets the medallion, of course.
Can't stop the definition of a melee hero.
Yeah, definitely not. If you're the definition, you're scary. Luna up in the top lane. Nyx wanted to grab the Impale, but he will cancel cast it. Sentry Ward's still down. Vendetta will wear off. And there was
that was close.
Ooh.
Luna almost died there. TA going with the Midas. Rutro.
Wow. Double smoke from Derp Derp and Chicken MC. They're going to bring the streets to the top lane. And the smoke will be revealed. Universe fan in some trouble.
There's the AA ult coming, though.
And he will spike Carapace, going to try and pour it out. Not happening. Luna with the Lucent Beam. They secure the kill.
AA ult off the mark.
And with that, TC will just finish off the bottom tier 1 tower. So a kill on Nyx for the tower in the bottom. Not too bad. Lycan gets the last hit as well. I think a decent exchange for Liquid, honestly.
Yeah, and 4 heroes were top. Yep. So Smurfing Ain't Easy, trying to get big. I want to know what Shadow Fiend's going to go for. He went for Midas too, but he's pretty far ahead of TA.
Yeah, and now Smurfing Ain't Easy is in big trouble. Frostbite, oh wow. Close call with the refraction. Just used it right at the last second as that Shadow Ray's connected. But look at this space creation. TC, as well as Fluff, will continue pressing forward. They clear out the tier 2 tower in the bottom lane completely unchecked. Back-to-back towers for the Lycan. That's more than enough
gold. He's going to push the T3
for the medallion. And, I mean, why the hell not? Are there ports on these heroes at least? Luna has one. Yeah, they've all got TP scrolls, but he'll press forward and just start doing a little bit of chip damage here.
That's not worth it.
Yeah, definitely not. They get the top tier 1 tower, but whew.
TC has destroyed a tower. TC has destroyed a tower. So, yeah, 2 towers for a tower Nyx kill. That's definitely not worth it. They need space to farm, and I think with Lycan pressuring all their towers, they can't really group up as 5 and take aggressive fights. They have a better 5-on-5 lineup at this point, but still their supports are relatively under-leveled. Disruptor, not level 6 yet. Venomancer has hit his level 6, and meanwhile on the other side we see Ancient Apparition level 6 and Crystal Maiden level 7. They are smoked up, looking for blood on the Luna. That Sentry Ward is not down there anymore. Chicken MC is there to black him up, but no Sentry Wards to his name either.
Yeah.
And he's not level 6. Oh, no, he is level 6, so he could potentially stop this gank right dead in his tracks.
Vendetta is on for Nyx. He'll go straight in onto Luna. There's the Static Storm, Kinetic Field combo. Eclipse comes out. They do secure the kill on Nyx Assassin. Glimpse back onto Way 2. And he's not out of the clear quite yet. Will try and pour it out. Lucent Beam won't be there to interrupt, but it doesn't matter. They secure the kill.
You missed the Vendetta hit. He tried to impale out of it, but they didn't have enough damage to go into it. Very nice positioning by Chicken MC, though.
Look at this. Derp walks right by the Roche pit while TC's in there. He doesn't throw the Plague Ward in. Maybe he will now. It's coming off cooldown. You have to scout this out. This is what we were talking about in the picking phase. And, yeah, TC...
See, that's the thing. Like, Lycan's missing off the map for, like, a minute. And you're like, well, he could be Roshing. We're not sure. It messes with your mind. Looks like he will go get a free one.
I mean, it messes with your mind. You talked about how Veno can be good for scouting this, but he didn't even do anything. He walked right by. He had the cooldown and said he's going to put Plague Wards down in front of the
Living
tower.
up to his name.
Yeah, derp. That was a little bit of a derp move, I must say. So now Lycan, he's really getting out of control.
On Radiant, Lycan shouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Not when they're behind in kills, too.
Yeah, certainly not. And part of the problem with this TA going Midas is she just has a very small presence right now. Luna is 4-0-1, though, so she's done quite well. Number 2 on the net worth chart is actually still ahead of the Lycan. So that is good news for DNT. Shadow Fiend's still the big red winner, though. 2k up on the leading farmer of the Dire. And it looks like Bulba just working towards a BKB following that hand of Midas.
BKB, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty standard. Nothing too crazy about it. Double damage rune on TC, though. They will start pressuring this tier 1 tower mid. And Derp and Smurfing and Easy need to be a little bit careful here. This could prove deadly. The Wolves actually are pretty effective in cutting through the refraction as well.
AA ult going on top. They want to kill Nayrok.
And nice AA ult. Looks like it will be on the mark. A huge long range. He'll shatter. Crystal Maiden will come in for the last hit. And that is a kill. Going the way of Team Liquid.
Yeah, Darkseer, he is level 8. He does have his mech, but again, mech just not that effective versus that AA ultimate. Nice games by Nyx. He's constantly applying pressure. Even though he is 0-3-2, he's still forcing Dignotoss to react to in the top lane.
Yeah.
Constantly.
He's trying to set up kills. Not always successful, but he's moving around, as we've talked about. Sometimes a Nyx being missing from the map is more scary than a Nyx actually farming and getting kills. We will see an engage from TC into 3. Starting on the TA will be forced back. And the glimpse, but just not enough. Max movement speed. In that shapeshift form, Lycan survives very easily. Meanwhile, in the mid, it looks like a fight could break out. Bulba takes a Lucent Beam. And he does have his BKB up now as well. So
that's scary.
This is where Liquid can actually start to force fights a little bit because Bulba is just a machine.
Especially when they have the Aegis up on Lycan. And it's a 15-minute Treads Midas BKB.
Yeah, great farm on the Shadow Fiend in this game. He will get glimpsed back, though, into the kinetic field. BKB, Requiem of Souls. He'll get it off. It could be double souls here. He throws a few Shadow Races, gets the kill on Templar Assassin, goes down again, but the damage has been done. Will the follow-up be there? AA ult connects with only one. It is Derp. I don't think it'll be enough for him to shatter, but where's the follow-up? Lycan wasn't there. Nyx Assassin with a Vendetta available. And full mana on the CM as well. A little bit surprised Liquid didn't follow up and try and grab another kill out of that.
Yeah, looks like they're just looking to play passively without TC there. Not really a 4 protect 1. It's pretty much just 4 space creators and letting Lycan just do whatever he wants. That top T1 tower is still relatively healthy, but Dignotoss, they're kind of just chilling around mid. If they TP top, we may just see Liquid rotate mid with Lycanthrope and just push that tower down. So Dignotoss is kind of caught in a hard place.
Double damage rune here at the 16-minute mark. Narok will throw it in the Darkseer bottle. Meanwhile, Lycan pressuring that top tower like you mentioned. Smurfing and Easy ports in. Will actually do a lot of damage to TC. He has the shapeshift cooldown and will be forced to burn it just in case. TA did a little bit of extra damage there. He will be able to get away. Scouts out the Darkseer and heads back to the lane. Support is inbound though. Universe fan, Vendetta on, looking for blood.
They have a Sentry Ward though.
Yeah, they certainly do. And AA ulti flies as well. Off the mark. The Impale does connect. Wolves come in. Support will be inbound. It is a Luna that's porting in. Narok behind the tower. Now TC could be in some
Nyx has
trouble.
Blink.
Takes a side trap. And no, they won't pursue it. Yeah, you're right. Universe fan did just pick up that shiny new Blink Dagger.
You usually don't see one that early with a 0-3 Nyx, but with the Roshan down and 2 towers down on the right side of the map, it's still pretty darn good. Bulba, meanwhile, picking up 900 gold after that engagement in mid. He couldn't really run away after BKB, which is a big problem. He actually had the Venomous scale up on him prior to that.
Boba gets glimpsed back into a kinetic field. Smurfing on easy coming in. Chicken MC here as well. BKB, Requiem of Souls. He will stand his ground. Now we'll try to make it back to the high ground. Nyx blinks in. Impale on the mark. A huge AA ult connects with most of Dignotoss. And now they're in big trouble. TA the first to fall. Darkseer goes down shortly after. Static Storm flies, but it's just not enough. Chicken MC and Derp are forced to retreat back to the tower. The top tier 1 falls as they zone out Luna. That was just a multifaceted win for Team Liquid. A 2-0 in the mid and a tower kill up top.
Yeah, you can't initiate on a Shadow Fiend with their lineup because he'll just BKB the Glimpse, BKB the Static Storm Connect Field, and
Derp. He's in some
dead.
trouble. Universe coming around the backside. He actually finishes him off with the mana burn. An awkward way for the Nyx Assassin to do that, but he does secure the kill.
Is he going to die to the tower, though?
Yep.
That's a big question.
Yep, one more. But Luna did die sort of while I was watching Nyx. He got picked off in the fray. Actually, Nyx just died to the Dire, so he still got picked off. Still, very convincing for Team Liquid. More space created for Lycan. Look at this top tier 2 tower. It's taking heavy pressure. Fight in the mid. Still going on. Fluff will get left behind. That's okay. Space creation worth it for that tier 2 up top. TC grabbing another solo tower kill. Level 2 Necronomicon sitting in the bank at home.
He's about to have level 3. So 18 minutes they have to worry about a Necro 3 Lycan with an Aegis who's level 11. And they have to worry about Shadow Fiend who's almost level 15 with 3,000 gold after his BKB. And meanwhile, what did Dignotoss have to show for it? They have a Templar Assassin who halfway to BKB with Midas and a Luna with HOD and going this weird HOD Yasha into BKB. But if she had BKB right now instead of the Yasha, she could actually fight. But without it, she's going to die constantly. TC pressuring a little bit.
Almost in some trouble here. The kinetic field actually on point. I think he could have wrapped around, but TC does have the Aegis. He'll go ahead and do as much damage as he can.
He's going to die twice, though, I think.
AA ult comes in. It looks like Liquid do want to try and make a defense here. Universe
Nice
fan comes
stun.
in. Wall as well, but it just doesn't do that much. TC survives. They get the kill onto Darkseer. Universe fan now possibly in some trouble as he's stuck inside the Static Storm. They do secure that kill, but TC survives, at least for now. They'll continue to pursue. The Eclipse was available that whole time, and Lycan doesn't make it away, but at least it's a 2 for 2, and they burn the Aegis. So Liquid find a positive there. Haste Rune on TA. Great Force Staff from the Crystal Maiden. We'll take her to the low ground. Will it be enough, though? Moves into the fog. TA still trying to pursue that Haste Rune. Hard to get away from. Oh, a Lucid Beam to finish off the Shadow Fiend as well.
Wow.
So now DNT clean it up.
Shadow Fiend was way too low. He was just doing neutrals, and he literally died to one Lucid Beam.
Yeah. Boba very greedy.
If he were there to fight when Lycanthrope was down, it would have been a completely different fight.
Well, he has 3,200 gold, and actually dying with the Midas off cooldown. Definitely not an ideal way to go out. Very close to level 16. But this will translate to a tier 2 tower kill in the mid lane for DNT. At least it looks like it. Glyph comes out. There are some ports in from Liquid. Universe fan. Maybe they will actually be able to repel.
I think it's going to be in deny range, though.
As long as these wards keep clicking onto the tower. Yep, there you have it. Easy deny for Liquid.
Still, it's good for Liquid that Roshan wasn't up. If Roshan were up, I think Dignotoss could do it very, very easily with the TA and the Luna. They also have a trap in there in case Lycanthrope tries to move in on it next time. Lycan actually didn't have his Necro 3 that fight either. If he had it in his inventory instead of a Quelling Blade, he would have been able to clean up.
Yeah. That's a good point. The Quelling Blade not doing too much at this point. But
well, he needed room for the Aegis, to be fair, but still.
Yeah. Well, Lycan is really scary, though. Level 13. He's close to Boba on net worth, down by just about 600, which is impressive because Boba's the one with the Hand of Midas. All those tower kills doing some quick work for TC on this Lycanthrope. Other item pickups here. Helmet Dominator now up on Shadow Fiend, and we talked about that blink on Nyx. He's going to go ahead and grab himself a Ghost Scepter. AA dangerously close to completing his Ag Scepter. Actually, does he have it? I think it's coming on the courier.
Luna.
Meanwhile, up top, Luna will get initiated on by Universe Fan. They'll follow up.
She needs
secure that kill.
Wait, why didn't she pop BKB?
I don't know. Maybe figured she was dead anyway. Didn't want to waste the
just
cooldown.
ran back to base. It's better. It's better than dying.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate.
Smurfing in easy. He's in no man's land.
Uh-oh. Chicken and MC back to the streets. They'll get dove upon. Now Smurfing ain't easy will engage. Pops the BKB. In comes the Venomous Gale, but he's just going to get turned around on. He can't take that kind of damage.
You can't. You don't want to farm up a BKB versus a Shadow Fiend. Like you can't passively farm up BKBs because Shadow Fiend's going to win that war. So I don't really know what his game plan was with Midas. Yeah, he might have very similar items to Shadow Fiend, but Shadow Fiend's just much stronger with that level of farm, and TA has the ability to shut him down. So I did not really like Smurfing and Easy's choice for the Midas and try and outgreed a Shadow Fiend. That outgreeding Shadow Fiend is usually a quick way to lose the game.
It could have worked if the TA used that first blood gold to grab some momentum, shut down the Shadow Fiend, get a little bit ahead, and then get a Midas to further the lead. It could have worked out. But the fact that Shadow Fiend was ahead of TA since the laning phase, and then he had the Midas at least, like, what, 4 minutes before she did? Something like that? That's where it doesn't work out. The recovery Midas versus Shadow Fiend, you're not going to win that war.
Right. I think she should have had bottle when Shadow Fiend did, and then boots when Shadow Fiend doesn't if he goes for bottle, and then phase when he's still on Brown's boots. She should always be one step ahead.
And that just didn't happen. In fact, the opposite happened, where Bulba got a step ahead. And now he's just out of control. 4,000 gold in savings. Helm of the Dominator was the last item he picked up. And it could just be casual. He may go for a Satanic, or it could just go for something more aggressive like a Butterfly. He'll have it before too long at this rate.
TC trying to scout a little bit with the Wolves, and they are actually smoked behind the Luna, anticipating another Nyx Assassin gang. But Nyx Assassin is nowhere to be found. And this is the thing. Like, if you're going to farm as Nyx Assassin, farm in the jungle so that opponents are still really scared of you.
And Universe Fan is definitely doing that, a.k.a. Infinity, as he may be. BKB now up on Lycan. This is where things will get really difficult for DNT. I mean, now how do they stop this Lycan from just going ham on their team?
They can't. And if Lycan wants to pick a Roche fight right now, what is Dignotoss going to do? They can't fight against a double BKB. I mean, they have a double BKB on their own, but the Liquid's double BKB is much stronger than Dignotoss's double BKB.
12,000 gold, 10,000 experience lead for Team Liquid. They're in great shape right now. Ag Scepter is also up on the Ancient Apparition. Fluff is level 11, so that Ice Blast is dirty. It will be doing some serious damage. I feel bad for the supports of Team Dignotoss. And both sides will just passively farm a little bit. Lycan pretty close to level 16.
He's doing a good job scouting.
Yeah, I think Liquid are just looking for that opening. They recognize they have a huge lead here, and, well, they don't want to throw it away. They're just going to be cautious. It will be a Satanic coming out for Bulba. He does have the recipe, and we'll go ahead and grab the Reaper with the Courier right now.
That is super stacked.
Yeah.
I like the build from him. I don't think a Butterfly would have been that bad either. Gives him more deeps, but...
Would have been good against this TA, who is not getting an MKB anytime soon. But they're so far ahead at this point that, honestly, I think Bulba could get kind of whatever he wants here within the realm of reason.
What's out of the realm of reason? A Yules?
Dagon.
Dagon?
Yeah, Yules would be a little funky too.
Oh, a two-man ultimate. Scouts. Nice scouting by scouting by the Wolves, though. I think these Wolves are very annoying
Value
for
Wolves.
Dignotoss. Yeah, they can't really do anything. They can't move around and gank, and
just look at this.
They can't split up
man.
either.
He's like... That one Ice Blast almost killed him.
Going for the value gem.
Whew. I don't know if Venom is the best gem carrier right now. He gets hit by one Ice Blast and any other spell, and he's going to shatter. Ooh, here we go. 4-man smoke coming out.
They're getting desperate. This is the second smoke they've used in the past couple of minutes.
Yeah. I mean, they should be feeling a little bit desperate right now. Liquid have map control. They have the farm. They need to do something a bit radical. Even smoking into Roche wouldn't be the worst idea. We see the Wolves scouting it out. They know there's also a side trap down there as well. So both sides keeping eyes on Roche.
They know that they have a sentry there or there or something because those melee creeps were attacking it. But at the same time, they're like, well, I don't know if any of them were over there to play sentry wards.
Yeah, they will clear out one of the observer wards outside the Roche pit. Smoke will get revealed.
This is bad for Dignotoss.
I'm not really sure what Dignotoss are trying to do here.
They're trying to get someone that's doesn't have a BKB, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there just aren't many easy gank targets right now. CM is gankable in this bottom lane, but still, she has a Force Staff and an Ogre Club. She's not particularly easy to gank. The two BKB heroes, yeah, forget about it. Nyx has a Blink, and then other than that, it's just Ancient Apparition, and he's fairly tanky as well with the
This is a much
up.
smarter smoke, I think, from Liquid.
Yeah. And TC will move into the Roche pit. The side trap is down, so Dignotoss have that intel. They know exactly what's going on.
Use the book, man.
Yeah, he should use it. Then he'll see the trap. He'll know he's being scouted out. They may be privy to it as well. I mean, it's not outlandish to think that there's a side trap down in Roche. Pretty standard TA strat here. Roche getting very low. I think Dignotoss are going to try and go for an Aegis Snatch. No, they're not. They're just going to
Three-man
slowly
stun
walk
by
down.
Nyx.
Oh, wow. This is just going to be a disaster. The AA ult doing a lot of damage. Eclipse comes in from the Luna, but just to no avail. There are too many units. It does next to nothing. Everyone on Liquid basically at full health. It's a 4-0. I thought that gem drop was the
5
GG,
for nil,
but
I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-0. think Dignotoss could tap out pretty much at any point here. I thought they were going to try and contest Roche, maybe snatch the Aegis, but they didn't. Instead, they just went into that choke point right here.
Well, it was all really Nyx Assassin. He caught him off guard. They were like all running down the hill at the same time. Like they were all running down this
And there was a double damage on Shadow Fiend. Which
he stunned 3 of them, and they were just all clumped. They were forced to run. What they need to do is get like a huge vacuum wall disruptor status.
They have that dirty wombo combo between the Poison Nova, the vacuum, disruptor,
never used it.
but they can't get it off. Liquid has just found the jump on them. This Nyx Assassin has been playing very well.
Well, it's not only that they found the jump. Liquid just also did a really good job of applying pressure around the map. Like they're worried about Shadow Fiend farming. Lycanthrope just took down all their towers in quick succession. TC gets caught out.
He will get glimpsed back into the base, but Chicken MC has already fallen. There's the Poison Nova, but it's only level 1. TC will fall right here, actually. Bulba gets off the Requiem of Souls, finishes off the Luna. He's going to go blow for blow with Smurfin' Ain't Easy, and I'm not sure if he'll survive this one. He does just barely. The Plague Wards will be enough to take him down. That procs the Aegis, but it doesn't matter. GG, well played. Dignotoss will tap out. Team Liquid.
Overall, I still wasn't very impressed with Team Liquid. I think, like...
Look at... You're hard to impress, man. They just won pretty convincingly.
It's Dignotoss.
It's... Ooh, shots fired.
They can... I mean, it's another thing. It's one thing to beat Dignotoss, but, I mean, it was a decent win. It wasn't, like, a clear crush. It was decent. I think the mid player was really weak, though.
Was there any point in that game where Liquid didn't have control?
I mean, they gave up first blood. It was still a little bit sloppy.
Well, okay, fine, you're right. They didn't have control in the first blood, but they very quickly made up for it. I mean, the first blood didn't even have that big of an impact. TA was the one that got the bonus gold, and then she got smashed by the Shadow Fiend. So
yeah. Well, it was still. I mean, like Nyx Assassin, I guess, didn't play that well. Luna was 4-0-1 at one point, but the mid lane went really poorly. I think if they had a better mid player, it'd be a lot different.
I just don't think the Midas was worth it on TA. I mean, maybe if then she ended up getting BKB, and it didn't really do anything. And then the last item she had picked up was a Hyperstone, which is even weirder.
I expected great things from Team Liquid, and they impressed me with it. It was good.
It was pretty good.
It was good. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
All right.
Okay, it was good.
They still did pretty well, though. I will say, Lycan, Ancient Apparition on the same team. That's a duo that we haven't seen in tandem a lot, but boy, is it dirty, especially in a tri-lane. Howl and Chilling Touch.
Luna can't man up on these heroes, though. I think that's a big issue. Like, Luna was really hot in early 6.80, and now people have found, well, if you want to just farm it with Luna with the BKB, we'll just get a BKB hero that will destroy you in a one-on-one.
Yeah.
Or in the man fight. So, I don't know. She can't stand up to him. She just BKBs and runs most of the time.
Lycan's also good against Luna because he has so many units. Once he gets a Necro book, she uses Eclipse, and it just... I mean, we saw in that last team fight, it wasn't a bad Eclipse. It was all heroes nearby, but all the units from the Lycan in particular...
The wolves take 80% less damage from it. Wow. So, it's...
That's hacks.
It is hacks. It's like 60 damage in a beam.
That's insane. That's too good.
It is. Well played by Liquid.
Yeah.
Fluff, I'm expecting great things.
So that wraps up our coverage of Starladder today, and that's it. That's all we've got. It was a pretty good day of games. That Alliance versus Cloud9 were a little bit delayed, compliments of the Steam issues, but interesting last game. Liquid does take out Dignotoss. Let's actually go ahead and take a look at the American grid just for good measure here. And EG 2-0, Revenge 2-0 as well right now, though. Important to note, Revenge did have 2 very easy matchups to get things started. They beat CNB. Then I think they beat Team E-Hug as well. So definitely 2 of the lower-seeded teams. This will push Team Liquid to 2-0 also. So we've got a 3-way tie in first place. This North American Fat Robin format for Starladder 9 is actually going to be rather interesting, Merlini.
Yeah, what about Team Dog?
Team Dog? Well, I didn't even look at them.
They're for number 4.
We'll bring it back. Team Dog.
They lost to EG, but
yeah, they're 1.
Everyone's going to lose to EG.
Exactly. They had a hard matchup. It's, I mean, what do you want, man? They're 1-1. They had the hardest matchup in one of their first 2 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think my point was, I think they're contenders for top 3.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Team Dog they were looking pretty good, although that game against Ichi was a little embarrassing.
It's clowny. They did GG out appropriately, though.
That made Merlini happy. 9 minutes. Yeah,
sometimes you just got to do it, man.
Sometimes you just got to do it. Now, guys, remember, if you're looking for the VOD, someone actually tweeted at me asking where they can watch the videos on demand. They are on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/BeyondTheSummitTV, and they get uploaded pretty much right away after the games are done. I usually see gods are rolling, trimming them out as we're a game up. And also remember, visit our subreddit, reddit.com/r/BeyondTheSummit. We've been using it as kind of a Q&A platform where we will be making future announcements.
Connecting to the Dota 2 network.
Oh, perfect timing to end our coverage today because...
But what about those poor viewers that want to play Dota after this? Well, they want to own. They want to own like TC or something.
I feel for you. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't mind playing some Dota, but it's time to hit the gym, man. Go demon style. Go ham on some
Okay,
weight.
peace out, people. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep. That's it for us today, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.